Journal of Excellence, Episode 12. I came across this quote the other day, and I don't know who the author is. If you are the author, I give you credit. This is a phenomenal quote. Just of it is that it is pointless to wish you had started years ago. In the future, you will wish you had started today. We've all heard the one saying, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The next best time to plant a tree is today. I know that I've been guilty of wishing this, of wishing that I had started something years ago. For years, I've been, taking care of myself physically. I've got a great relationship with my wife, with my kids. For me, it does fall. A lot of it falls into my business. I didn't see myself as a business person growing up, and it's a fairly recent endeavor for me, and it's one that I wish that I had started years ago. Now, I'm 2 years in, so it's not like I'm starting today, but I do wish that I had started years ago. But kind of think about this idea of starting something. I know that I procrastinate. Shoot, this morning, I know that I needed to sit down. I needed to make this recording. I needed to get these thoughts out there. But I procrastinated. I made myself a nice breakfast. I hung out with my daughter. I mindlessly scrolled social media, and it was all just putting off what I knew I needed to do, which was to turn on the camera and talk. I guess that's the funny thing. You see, why I started the Journal of Excellence, this Journal of Excellence, I'm not doing this for views. I'm not doing this to do anything aside from practice talking. I don't necessarily have an issue with speaking in public. That's something that I've been doing for years. But I am hesitant to speak online. I'm just hesitant. I'm downright afraid. I'm downright afraid of making these recordings and publishing them on the internet and on social media. I'm afraid of that. And so I started this Journal of Excellence as a way of overcoming that fear. Now, the view count doesn't matter. I don't care if anybody sees this. I don't care if the view count stays low. And it terrifies me that it will be seen, but really it's just me talking. It's me putting my face out there, putting my voice out there, putting my thoughts out there, and overcoming this fear. You see, I'm a father to 4 beautiful girls. And how can I teach them that their voice matters if I'm so afraid to use mine? How could I teach them that what they have to say is valuable if I'm afraid to speak up? You see, I just as I'm kind of chewing through these ideas and working through these things, it really becomes crystal clear. It becomes crystal clear that my thoughts aren't necessarily what I think. And that doesn't make sense. So let me try and unpack that. You see, let's look at journaling. Okay? We're all told that we should journal, that it's a great way of getting our thoughts down on paper. And I take that to heart. I try and write every single day. I'm keeping a journal, and for the most part, it's something that I do every day. Now, as I'm sitting there writing down my thoughts, I'll write a sentence and then I can stop. I don't have to write while I think about what I'm going to write down next. Those are my thoughts. And I can almost curate them just a little bit. Because if I'm struggling with some concept, I can pause. I can pause and consider and contemplate, and then once I catch hold of what I want to say, I can write it. And if I make a mistake, I can erase it and try again later. But this, right here, making this recording, this is unscripted. This is me spitballing into the camera. I can't go back and unsay something that is already said. Sure, I could re-record, but I'm 8 minutes into this recording, and that would be starting fresh. And so what I'm saying right now, this is what I'm thinking. It's not like I can say a sentence and then pause for 10 seconds while I consider my next sentence. That would be silly. And while there is still some thinking going on about what I'm going to say next, it's so much quicker. And sometimes the words that come out of my mouth, it's a bit surprising to me. And I stop and I think, is that really, really what I think? Now, it's nice to have these two channels. It's the verbal communications. Am I articulating my thoughts well? And then the thoughts that I have while I'm writing, am I considering all the angles? Because, okay, what this is, what I'm hoping to achieve with the Journal of Excellence, this is for me. Like I said, view count doesn't matter. This is for me and my ability to articulate what I am thinking. And I need to be able to do this because I have plans. There are things that I want to do. I have this grand vision of the future. It's big. It's too big for one person to do alone. I'm going to need help. And so I need to be able to articulate my thoughts. I need to be able to articulate my vision in such a way that it inspires others to adopt it as their vision as well. And that's the only way that what I hope to do, what I hope to build, what I hope to achieve will ever come into fruition. I'm going to need help. And it all comes down to this, right here, right now. It all comes down to planting a tree.